painful. That were very frustrating, and in 2 weeks' time I will be having the right, and I'm not lying, I'm very, very anxious about it, because you're talking it's your dominant hand and the left one still isn't strong enough to carry, I don't know, a pint of water. It just won't do it. So, but the reality is no, it's actually, it helps people's mental well-being.
So today I am with somebody I will fully admit I have only just discovered, and I'm mortified because I've only just discovered. I'm with Joanne Whitworth, and she's wanting to talk to us today about something very special that she's doing for us nail techs that suffer with wrist pain. We'll get into that later, but Joanne, tell me all about yourself.
Hello, Rachel. Okay. I'm Joanne. I've got two children, 26 and 27, and a beautiful little grandson who's only 4, little Teddy, who keeps us all busy.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I absolutely love my job, and unfortunately, due to my health problems, it's got to the point where I'm going to be off work again. And I can't find any information out there. So on the back of that, I have started a bit of a health and safety mission, really, because I do know quite a few nail techs myself. They all have some kind of ailments, and I thought maybe it's time to all come together and actually talk about this as a bigger, wide range problem, so that we could all give each other support.
That sounds amazing. As a person that has lived with health problems from being 7, it is the reason I'm in the industry. I'm in the industry because I was ill.
Oh,
So this is wonderful for me
Fab-
to hear.
Brilliant. So yeah, I'm literally looking for any nail technicians or beauticians to help me with the questions that I've asked, because whilst I was off with my hand a few months ago, it's very limited, very, very limited information out there.
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of Googling myself, actually, and I can find information on wrist conditions, but when you click on any of them, there is very little information other than what it is and how it's diagnosed.
It is, yes.
And I have been told in the past myself by my GP that I've got nodules or tendinitis in my wrist. Ooh. But because of all my other health problems, I've always not really thought about that. I've always thought any pain I suffer as a nail tech's got to be my pre-existing conditions, not that it could actually be my job that's causing this.
Yeah.
So this fascinates me.
I mean, it's like if a few years ago, obviously when health and safety came into offices, they didn't used to be all the health and safety aids that we've got for officers now, which they've made a legal requirement. So kind of my question is, why is there nothing out there for salons? Where is that support?
Yeah, definitely. I know I've read lots of articles in Scratch Magazine basing on individual people's issues.
Yes.
But again, no real kind of information about how to deal with it other than go to your doctor. You know, there's no kind of areas of speciality that deal with our industry. Like you said, with officers, there is that kind of information. They've got HR and not HR, but they've got people within their industries that they can go to.
Exactly.
To help them with aids for working. What have we got?
I mean, literally, I must have emailed about 20 different companies, National Hair and Beauty Federation. There were lots of people that I contacted, and some people sent me, you know, some information that they'd independently done. The only one from the government was done years ago, and to be fair, it's not up to date. And
I doubt many things that the government does is.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I did get in touch with Scratch Magazine, who did an article for me, and I was reaching out then. So I'm really glad that we've got in contact. So hopefully between us, we can get some solid evidence.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about how you got into the industry, because everybody's got a unique story, and I love origin stories. I love them. I love finding out where people came from, why they came from there, what caused them to find the industry. So tell me how you found the industry when you were kind of younger.
By accident. Literally, I've been in management in retail and also lettings and sales negotiator. So my daughter was only 13 and we were going to the races at Doncaster. So naturally we went for a pamper. It wasn't something that I did myself regularly. And that's kind of how it began. She used to be a nail biter, so she said, "Mum, can I have my nails done again?" And at that time, it was well before gel polish came along, so it was only
Yeah.
nail polish then. And it got to a stage where it was like £45 every 2 weeks. So we're talking
Yeah.
like 17, 18 years ago. And I'm like, I don't spend that on myself. So I said, "Oh, do you know what?" I said, "I've always liked sort of nails and painting and pampering." So I said, "I think I might do a little course." Which turned into a lot
Yeah,
more.
it becomes
Yeah.
obsessive a little bit, doesn't it?
Slightly, yeah, but I was lucky enough when I went for my training. It was with Red 10 in Doncaster.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
And literally, my manicure course, the company as a brand was with Easy Flow, and that was at the time Nail Harmony was just coming into the UK. Obviously,
Yes.
Gelish was the first brand.
Exactly.
So I was lucky enough to be one of the first in Doncaster to do the Gelish course.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, literally, my career kind of went boom. So I left my previous job, which was as a lettings negotiator, and I set up for my first time self-employed, which was extremely scary.
Really scary.
Very. I mean, if anybody had told me that I were going to be self-employed and eventually have a salon, I would have said, "Don't be silly."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I
I
think
think I'd said the same thing, to be fair.
yeah, well, yeah, and I think it's the passion for the job that I mean the people I've met, the friends I've made. It's amazing that you've got that contact with people. But I love the job as well. So when the
Yeah.
problems have started, and I've been told by several doctors, get yourself another job. It's like, no, this is where my passion is. So let's try and do something to prevent what I've got and bond together, as an industry, really.
Yeah, I mean, I was told not last Christmas. I was in hospital for 5 weeks last February, completely nothing to do with my job. But I was told that my job it would be very difficult with the pain in my joints.
Oh,
Maybe try
bless you.
something else. And I'm like, no. The reason I'm in the industry is because it affords me to be able to take 5 weeks off and then the subsequent recovery.
Yeah,
It affords me that being self-employed. If I went to work for Boots, they're not going to give me 5 weeks off and then they're just going to say, well, maybe this job's not for you.
yeah, yeah.
Move along.
And I think
So,
that's
yeah.
the balance with being self-employed as well.
Yes.
So, like, as part of the form that I've asked the question, how many people can afford, not just financially, to take time off, but also who's looking after your clients? Because as we all know, clients, as loyal as a lot of them are, at the end of the day, they want a service and they want that service every 3 to 4 weeks, maybe sooner.
Yeah.
And they would have to find somebody else if you weren't there. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another question, because I mean, when I did my training, nobody told me that I could have insured my hands. That'd
No.
have helped.
I didn't know you could.
No, I didn't. So I've never done anything like that. And obviously, at the point where it started hurting, it's too late. You can't do that. So it's been a roller coaster actually, and it's kind of leading me down a different path, thinking maybe training's where we need to start.
Yes. I think we've got to start. I mean, with everything in life, any industry, if you are taught at the start of your training how
Yeah.
to look after yourself as well,
Yeah.
then you don't end up with the problems. But a lot of the courses out there are 2 and 3 days.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of techs that are passionate about their job and they realise their education is not good enough, but they commit to moving on further and doing other education. But none of these education places, even the best of the best, aren't teaching us how to look after our wrists, our hands,
No.
our backs, our necks.
I mean, I've got two lovely girls at the moment that are at college, different colleges, and they're learning the trade. And you can see the passion and the excitement, and I love that because I did pass my assessment and my petals, so I can teach. I'm not with the company at the moment, but so the first thing I've asked them when they've come in for work experience, because I think it's good to give them sort of, they need to know what exactly it is that they're doing. So I've said, right, you sit down, let me see how you would, how you've been taught. And straight away, the nail desk's been sat up with a towel as a support for a customer and for them. And straight away, you can see the backs going down, so they're lifting the fingers up, and it's just like, yeah, you're going to end up with with poorly problems. If
Exactly.
and I think
Preaching to the choir on that one.
yeah, and I think that's the problem. So yeah, I'm working with obviously just two that are coming in to my salon to help. But I mean, how many hundreds of people out there are starting a career that they're going to passionately fall in love with, like we have, but end up ill because of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I worked for 25 years before I got myself a wrist rest. I mean, I've got a condition that mimics rheumatoid arthritis,
Oh,
and I've got fibromyalgia and lots of other things. And I was literally wearing, like you say, with a towel,
a
or one of
towel.
those foam bolsters you get off eBay.
That's the one.
And
Yep,
I,
yep.
yeah,
And
I was there at the inception of GB wrist rests, like because Lauren's a friend and she gave me one, and I would have paid at that point. I would have paid her £1,000,000 for that because it changed everything.
yeah, and
Knowing the right structure to sit your body in
yeah.
is something we aren't told straight away, and we really should be. It should be the very first thing.
And I think from a client's perspective as well, while I've been off, I've been very, very lucky that I've got two fantastic girls who have covered me for both the nail and the beauty side. So I have been lucky that the clients haven't left and they've waited for me to come back. And yeah, when I've spoke to clients, they've said, well, I were on a normal wrist rest or I were on a towel while you've been away and it hurts me. So it's
Yeah.
not just about the nail tech as well. It is about your clients. I mean, they've got, like you said, fibromyalgia, carpal tunnel, shoulder problems, neck problems, back problems. So in referring back to the survey, it's asking nail techs the question, do you ask if your client is comfortable? So it's changed the perspective for me as well. So when they do come in, obviously you've got smaller ladies, taller ladies. I move the chair. I make sure that they're at the desk properly so that I'm sat properly. And it's just these
Yeah.
little things that we can do that isn't really spoke about. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum. We need to talk.
And like you said, putting this questionnaire together, I suppose it really made you think about things that when you go into work every day, you don't think, oh, my client's putting her, like they do this thing on the wrist rest, don't they, where they put one hand and then they put the other hand over the top, which means you can't move them about properly, so you're straining yourself.
Very
I suppose
much.
you have to think about all the things that you maybe hadn't thought about before. You had to kind of come outside of your normal working head
Yes.
and problem solve, or not problem solve, problem find.
It's exactly that. And I've got no problem now with saying to customers, would you mind just putting your chair to the left? We're not straight. Would you mind? And I do move them. And it's because I've now got the problem, but it's not just the job. It's little things like I can't take a lemonade lid bottle off. Don't ask me to do a jar because that's not happening. But obviously, while I've had the surgery, relying on other people to do the most basic of things for you, like putting a shower on so you can at least get some water on yourself. It's the little things that you don't realise. And obviously, I'll be 47 this year. And if you think,
too.
oh snap! But if you think about it, we've still got a long time left to do the basic things in life. So I do feel very passionately, because like you said, I've had to come out of the work mode ethic. I mean, when I went for surgery, it was the Saturday before, and I'm getting dressed, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you can't pull leggings up,
Yeah.
you can't put a bra on.
Oh no.
No, Skechers are going to become your new best friend. I tell you,
Yeah.
absolutely. Joggers, just it was a little thing. So I went shopping in the hope that that would help, which it did. But again, nobody tells you that when you're going for surgery, that you're not going to be able to do the most basic task.
No, and it's not just like wrist surgery. If you do anything else, one of the girls that works for me, she's had to have spinal surgery on her
Oh,
neck.
bless her.
And it really like affected how she did her day-to-day things, driving and then coming into the salon and then having that position where your head's down, even if you are using a wrist rest, your head's down. And she was the same. She was like dressing and things like that. And when I was in hospital, I got those sports bras that zip at the front.
Yeah.
Because I knew there was no way. I was so weak that I couldn't climb up my own stairs to go to the toilet. We had to put a chair on the half landing so I could stop halfway up, like base camping Mount Everest. And you suddenly realise the little tiny things
Yeah,
that your hands, your arms, and your body do that you now can't do.
yeah.
And something as simple as not taking care of your wrist can put you in a position that's as bad as somebody like myself that's had an almost catastrophic body failure. Because if you can't use your hands, there's very little you can do for yourself.
There sure is. I mean, I've, like I said, I've been lucky. So my family have been very, very supportive. But also, like you said, it's the mindset. I'm a very, very independent woman,
Yeah,
and
me too.
having to ask for that help.
It's a killer.
It takes a little bit of swallowing, and all my husband keeps,
It does.
all he
That
keeps
pride
saying
takes a
is,
bashing.
yeah, I mean, my husband just keeps saying, Joanne, stop trying to be a hero. And it's like, I just want to get a glass of water. It's not like I'm trying to do a massive task.
Oh, I feel like we're soul sisters. I know exactly.
Well, like I said, I thought it's just made me think mentally how we can support each other further and how we can do more awareness and through the bigger organisations as well. I think we could all talk about it more. So what I'm proposing to do, I want to set up a support group so I can share with you the little things I've found along my journey. So like if you are struggling, there's little quirks. Get yourself some sketches. Do you know what I mean? There's little things I can do to help because at the point where you are struggling and you are self-employed, there's nowhere for you to go. And that I want to help others to prevent it more than anything else. But obviously
And
talk about it.
the industry isn't set up. We don't get sick pay. We don't get
No,
holiday pay.
no, no.
There's little things that we need to be doing other than taking care of his wrists and his backs and his necks. There are little things we could be doing to look after ourselves. We could be, like you said, insuring our hands. You can get
Yeah.
certain types of insurance that pay you your wage if you are off. Which because I've got some of these health conditions I've never qualified for, but I've worked with techs that have had it, and then had Eve that worked with me a while back. She fell and broke her elbow.
Oh.
You can't do nails if you've got a broken elbow.
Painful.
She's clever. She got that insurance and it paid her wages. I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
Just think the little thing, like you get the nodules in the wrist, you have to take 1 week off to wear a splint with the tendonitis or the, I don't know how I'm pronouncing it correctly, the queer veins.
Yeah. It's all connected. I mean, my surgery, I've got osteoarthritis, both hands. So I said, it got to the point they said, right, you can't have any more cortisone injections. And to be fair, when I had those, that were another 4 days off work every time.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I went for my surgery in September. I'm still struggling to do basic things with the left, but I have been able to come back to work. But it's taken me longer. It's taken me a lot longer. And in 2 weeks' time, I will be having the right. And I'm not lying, I'm very, very anxious about it because you're talking, it's your dominant hand and the left one still isn't strong enough to carry, I don't know, a pint of water. It just won't do it. So I'm a bit anxious, to say the least.
Yeah, what kind of things have you found? Like, obviously, you had to have the surgery because it's quite a serious condition, but what kind of things running up to going, okay, that's surgery time, were you doing to try and prevent more damage for your wrists? Is there some, like, exercises or anything?
Physio's been good. It's stretching out your hands, stress ball, that helps. It's lots of little different things. But as it's got worse, and especially during the cortisone injections, I've had to slow down. My body's like, no, Joanne, you can't do this. So I've had to think about things, right? Do I really need to try and struggle to open a jar when I'm at home and I can just ask somebody who's physically able to do it? It's the little things about cutting back and again making sure, like when you are at work, you're not pushing yourself because you need to. You're asking your clients to help and work with you as well. And like I said, there's quite a few clients out there I've been speaking to. So I think it's just an all-round general problem as well that we could all help each other just by talking about it that little bit more.
And even if you haven't got underlying health conditions, your wrists and your back and neck can become very uncomfortable and painful if you are using incorrect seating positions.
Yeah.
I find when clients sit too far away, that it really between my shoulder blades, it's like, because I'm constantly pulling them towards me. So like you said, making sure You see, I don't know. Probably other people out there will be like me. I hate cringe, I hate conflict, and I hate anything like that. But when a client isn't sitting properly, I feel like I'm being naughty asking them to sit properly.
And I think that's part of the problem. But now, I mean, just little quirky things. Oh, would you like to shuffle in for me? So they do come that bit closer. And I've got a little lady. She's a beautiful lady who comes in, she's on a little. So as soon as she comes in, I know that I need to make sure the chair's higher. So she's at the nail desk properly. And it's just the little things. And you're not being naughty if you're looking after. Well, it's health and safety, isn't it?
Health and safety.
It's health and safety, and it would be nice, for the government to recognise that we do need more support. I mean, when I looked into benefits while I were off, straight away, if you're employed but on statutory sick, you get more money than somebody who's self-employed. Well, why is that? Surely self-employed need more help. I don't.
Yeah. Definitely. And they're not just in the health part. There's very little help for self-employed people out there.
Yeah.
If they become ill, the only help out there is if you've decided to take out private insurance to protect yourself.
Which I didn't know about. So again, it's awareness. Just talking about it to other people. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So where do we go to find the questionnaire?
Right, so I've set up a website which is still in progress. So me and my digital advisor are on with that, but the form is there. The problem was I've put a lot on Facebook that a lot of my nail tech friends have shared, and Facebook thought it was. Go on. Yeah, they've deleted everything because it's a Google form. It's a Google link, so it does ask you to sign in. I think that was part of the problem. So anyway, my website is qtsystem.co.uk, and I did send you the link, Rachel, as well, so you can have a look.
I'm going to put that on my salon's website, and I also own a cuticle and hand cream business. It's going to go on that website too.
Fabulous.
Send out mail blasts to all the customers on there.
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, what I'm wanting to do.
Yeah, I'm going to share it as much as I can on our Facebook pages as well, and hopefully they don't take it up there again.
Yeah, and that's all I want. I just want support because this is a great industry, and I've made some fantastic nail tech friends that, we've been friends for as long as I've been doing it, and it's just supporting each other. Let's get some answers together and say, right, okay, how big of a scale? Like if 100 people filled in the form, I've got 100 answers. And being able to share. So Scratch Magazine have said that upon completion of said questionnaire, they would like to share the results. So that might be another option to be able to generate some more awareness, really.
It's very important, I think, for people to get an understanding of the scale of it.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes when we're hurting, we think of it as only our problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think as an industry, we're so good at coming together and helping and sharing each other's problems and giving hints and tips on maybe what to be doing to negate any more issues. But if we don't actually know the scale,
no,
we aren't asking for help because we're going, this is just a me problem. I feel silly asking for help because it's just me. Nobody else would understand.
I've been talking to 3 local nail techs over the last couple of months, and obviously they're asking me because now they're getting to the point where it's surgery time for them too. So they're kind of saying, right, how long off work? And they told me up to 8 weeks, but in all truth, it's gonna be longer. And I think again, it's about being realistic because you can't do what you did before until it heals. And for that, they've said up to maybe over 6 months.
Yeah.
So and it's just being there for each other. And I think if we could get some answers, then maybe we can all pull together and say, right, what can we do to make this better?
Yes, definitely. Like I say, I'm going to share it as often as I can.
Thank you very much.
If anybody's listening, definitely fill the form in, even if you don't suffer, because then that gives answers too. Yeah,
it needs to be as honest as it can be. And like I said, with all the new nail techs, they obviously they're starting on a wrong footing. So at some point, they have literally got a limited shelf life for a job they're going to fall in love with and want to do for the rest of their life. Unfortunately, you need to look after your body.
Yeah, and there's only so many of us can go into teaching and training academies because there's only so many people willing to learn. So
Yeah.
what do you do if you don't look after yourself?
It's a bit of a cycle. I mean, that's why I went into teaching. And I'll be honest, while I've done it for the last few years, I've absolutely loved it. But again, it's pulling everything together, isn't it? Like you said, and it's like between salon training, this, yeah, it's a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster.
Yeah, and like you say, if you do look after yourself, it is a career that can last you your entire life.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people I think that Nell takes a young girls wearing makeup and immaculate hair.
That's the one.
I don't think I've ever come across one like that. To be fair, probably one or two, but they're definitely not in my salon.
I think it's still.
We can do it forever if we try.
Yeah, and it's still. I think it still has got that stigma, and I don't think until lockdown people realised that it's not just about looking pretty and looking smart. It's about the mental well-being for clients. I mean, they missed so much just having that hour and a half for themselves that they don't take out. And being able to talk to somebody or a mum who's a single mum on her own and she doesn't get out, but do you know what? She makes that time to come and have that little pamper. And I think, yeah, the stigma's still out there. It's about looking pretty with all the makeup on. But the reality is no, it's actually, it helps people's mental well-being.
Definitely. I mean, I'd seen that somewhere that it had said that having a manicure or a pedicure or having your hair done releases the same endorphins as falling in love.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So, it's happy hormones, happy endorphins being released just, for 30 quid.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I think
you don't have to go out there and fall in love. It's safe bet.
And I think even the gents enjoyed getting their hair cut. I'm sure they missed it in lockdown as well. So we have got an amazing, fantastic industry. And I just think we need to be recognised and just have that extra support that we haven't got at the moment.
Well, I know that during COVID that they were not taking us as an industry very seriously, but
Not at all.
Information would come out that we put more into the economy than the automotive industry.
Yes.
Those men that Boris was saying needed to get back to work. These men need to get back to work. They're the backbone of our economy. And we're all sitting here going, hang on a minute, you put more into the economy than they do.
Yeah, that were very frustrating. Very, very. I'm sure we all found it frustrating in lockdown as well. But like you said, the millions that we do put into the industry, they need to realise that, we're a big industry. We do need a bit of help.
And if you want to keep taking our money, you've got to help us not have to give up 20 years before our time.
Agreed. Yes.
It's financial win-win on both our sides if they just pulled their britches up.
Something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of a mission. But I will have at least 10 weeks off work in the next few weeks. And during that time, I'm sure I'm going to find some petitions that I can draw up and... let's see what we can do. Let's get a good response from a few other people like ourselves, and hopefully we can change the way it works.
Yeah, I think after seeing what we can do as an industry in the past, I think that's a definite.
Definite power to the industry.
Definitely. So let's talk about you now. Let's talk about. So we talked about how you got into the industry, but let's talk about when you were younger. If you could go back and not choose, I mean, obviously you did the other things first, but if you could go back and choose a job that you wanted as a child to do more than anything, because I ask this to everybody, I think it's very telling of who people are when you get this answer.
Right.
What would you have been if you hadn't have gone in and to do all those other things first and then fell into the nail industry?
I wanted to be a midwife like my grandma.
Oh, wow.
Completely different.
Lovely job.
Yeah, when I left college, I did start the course. At that time, was it GN? No, not GNVQ. It was a very strange body, and it just weren't put together right. It was one of the first that were launched to get you into health and social care, and for that reason, I left after the first year. And otherwise, that's what I wanted to do. So, I know.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And now, if you had to change and do a new job that wasn't within the beauty industry, what would be your dream job now?
Oh, there's a question.
I know.
Okay. I honestly don't know. I'm pretty resourceful, so I've tried network marketing alongside salon. Um, Not so passionate about that anymore. So I don't know. I'm pretty versatile, so I can change my hand to a lot of different things. And I think
Yeah.
it would probably take me a few different things before I could find something. I mean, at the minute, I am still in love with my job. I
Yeah.
love my salon, and
Good.
my girls I work with are absolutely fantastic. We've been together for like 9 years this year, and it seems like yesterday. It's pretty special.
It is
So,
amazing, though, isn't it? How when something like this happens, you do start to think about what if and what can I do
yeah,
instead. But you probably like myself, the amount of projects. The girls at the salon laugh at me because the amount of times I walk into the salon and go, "I've had an idea," and they just roll their eyes and grunt because
yeah,
I
that's
have the
me.
idea and they have to pull it off. But
No, guilty for
yeah,
that one. Very good. If I say, "Oh, I've had an idea," they run a mile or they lock themselves
yeah,
in the
yeah.
kitchen.
But I suppose what's happened to you has actually you start thinking about things you can do to help yourself, and then you kind of start looking at things you like you've done. You start to find things. Oh, let's see how many other people we can help. This is something that keeping it to myself would be cruel. I
Yeah.
can do this. I've got the ability to be able to market and network and find people to help. I've got a platform, and I
Yes.
can and I can make sure that we change something.
Definitely, 100%. And I think that's what I'll be doing with the use of my time off. And
Yeah,
like I said, there's quite a few government petitions that are going about sick pay at the moment, actually. So I'm gonna have a look back to those and see what kind of things are going off there. But I think that's what my aim is, to find a solution to the problem. And usually when I get my teeth stuck into it, I don't let go. So I'll
yeah,
be doing lots of short snippet videos just explaining my journey. But for me, I'd love to hear from everybody else. I want to know your story too.
yeah. I mean, we see on lots like when they do comic relief and stuff like that. You see little stories of people's journeys, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how powerful those small amounts of information can be when they're about something that's really important. So
Yes.
you can get a lot of information across in quite a short time. So if anybody out there wants to share their stories with you,
Yeah,
could
I'd
they
love to.
contact you
Um,
and you could help out with
yes,
getting their stories out there?
you can contact me through the form, the website. I am on all social platforms, TikTok. I've got quite a few videos on there about the hands. I found one last night. I'd forgot I'd taken just after I'd had my injections, so that was before the surgery, and it just said, "I'm the nail tech." When your hands say no, but your heart says yes, as a nail tech, I still want to do this.
Yeah,
So I suppose, yeah, it's the passion and the stubbornness that's I'm still not there. Is what happens if I can't. But I mean, my hand's getting better slowly. It's baby steps, and I'm sure this time next year, when they've healed properly, I'll be like a new woman.
oh, yes, definitely. And so everybody out there, send Joanne your stories. Send them your hints and tips as well on if you have got hand problems, how you basically live with them, deal with them, or any exercises or any hints and tips to
Definitely.
help with the pain.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I will set up a support group that's purely for health problems, not for any, nail tips or anything like that. Purely for health problems, so people feel like they've got somebody to talk to. It'll be a safe environment. It'll be kind, courteous. But yeah, pop it in there if you have got a problem, and let's see what we can all as an industry come up
Yeah.
with and solve this problem.
Oh, I think we should march on Parliament. I'll get my
Definitely.
shoes on.
Yep. Okay. I'm there. I'll come and pick you up.
You can't drive.
Oh yeah, see that's another thing. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You'll have to pick me up.
I'll drive.
Brilliant teamwork. Love it.
Definitely. Well, I think this has probably been one of my favourite episodes that I've done in a very long time.
Oh, lovely.
It's really been nice to talk to somebody. It's made me feel, although we haven't got the same thing, it's made me. I'm going to stop feeling uneasy when I ask clients to sit
Yeah.
properly. I'm going to be, big knickers are going to get pulled up, and I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to say, listen, you can't sit like that. That hurts me. Maybe not in them words. But
Snuggle up. Just snuggle up, will do. But yeah.
Yeah.
And ask
So
them if
thank
they're
you.
comfortable as well, because I think that's
Yes,
been
and
missed.
you know what? It's occurred to me. I don't actually do that. I don't actually ask if they're comfortable. I just put my hand out and say, "Give me your hand."
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah.
So maybe that's something we all ought to start doing when your client sits down and say, "Are you comfortable for me to begin?"
Yeah. 3 of my ladies have said that. Yeah, they were uncomfortable when another colleague has done it. So we've all had a discussion about it. Because again, it's about helping each other, and yeah, it's just working together. That's all it is.
Yes. And I think if we all work together, and we're going to find a way through all these health problems, all these uncomfortable situations, and we're just all going to fly.
We are definitely 100%.
So, Joanne, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for talking
Rachel.
to me today. I am so grateful. I can't even tell you how grateful I am.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh no, you're welcome. And I will speak to you very soon.
Okay, you have a lovely day and you take care.
I will. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.